Hashtag. Hi guys. Train your brain. Hello, hello. Hello. Train your brain. Hi guys. Hello, hello, hello. Hi guys. Okay, let me invite Dr. Charan. Hello, 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 hello. Hi. Okay, I'm waiting for Dr. Charan to join us. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hi, good evening.
Am I audible to you? Hi.
Yes, 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 you are. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think there is slight disconnect between what you're speaking and your movements.
The same thing is happening to me also when I'm talking to you. There's something. There's the network is a little bit slow, I think.
Right, right. I think it's better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Can we begin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Charan. My name is Kubra Fatima. I'm here from, MBT TV HR and social media team, and we really welcome you. And we really thank you for giving us your time and coming here and sharing your thoughts about mental health and mental wellness.
Thank you, thank you. Pleasure is mine actually. I'm very happy to be doing this because
Okay.
it's a time for mental health awareness. It's been
Yes,
long
yes,
due.
yes. Yes,
It took
yes,
a
yes.
it took a pandemic to realize the importance of mental health. I think it's better
And
late than never.
yes,
Yeah,
it's better late than never. To be very honest, better late than never. So,
yeah,
can you please introduce yourself? Because I'm very sure a lot of people here are wanting to know a little bit about you.
yeah. So I'm Dr. Charan. My full name is Charan Teja Koganti.
Yes.
Uh, I'm a neuropsychiatrist. I'm practicing at KIMS Hospital's Kondapur branch in Hyderabad. I'm also an assistant professor in VRK Medical College for Women.
Yes.
I also do have my own clinic that I see patients in the evening post my hospital.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm shuffling between three things.
So you're an all rounder. So you're
Mm,
working in a hospital, and then you're teaching students, and also you're helping people in your free time. So which is a really good thing, to be very
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
It's a very, very good
yeah.
thing. Like
Thank you,
it's
thank
totally
you.
my pleasure to, like host this interview and to get to know you and to let the information out to people.
Yeah, yeah. Pleasure
Okay,
is
can
mine.
we talk? Thank you. Can we talk a little bit about your education? Like from where did you graduate and, why did you choose this subject?
Um, I did my MBBS from Mangalore. I studied
Okay,
from something called a place called AJIMS, which
okay,
stands for AJ Shetty Medical College.
okay.
Um, Following which, I was supposed to go to USA for my master's. I was never really interested in going to USA. I wanted to be in India,
Okay,
but everybody told
okay.
me the scope of psychiatry is way better in USA than in India. And a lot of my family happens to be in America, so they are like, I think
Okay.
you must come to USA. So I did give my attempt for an year, and then somehow something didn't click right. I felt like no, I should just stay back. It's better to start at a place where mental health is not there yet, than already
Yes,
starting in a
yes.
place where it's already
Oh,
highly talked
yes.
about. So I decided that I will study here. Then I went back to Mangalore again. Um, I studied from Father Muller Medical College and Research Center.
Okay,
It's a Catholic
okay,
institution. It's 120-year
okay.
old. It started as a Catholic
Wow.
institution, and then it went
Okay.
out to be a multi-specialty
University.
hospital. We also have super specialty courses offered there. Um, 3 years I studied there, and I came back, and I'm working ever since. I
So
also
when you
worked at
start,
NIMHANS for 3 months. I also worked at
okay.
NIMHANS for 3 months, Bangalore,
Oh, that's
for
nice.
child and adolescent psychiatry. Yeah,
Wow. Like, wow.
yeah.
So, So tell me something about, like, were you forced to take this subject, or did you actually wanted to take this subject?
I was really forced to not take this subject by a lot of people.
Something very different.
Yeah, a lot of people told me, no, I don't know, maybe you'll get affected.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Maybe you'll
affected
go mad.
how?
I don't know. People told me maybe you'll go mad. Maybe you won't make enough money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, a lot of people don't know if what is a psychiatrist, what is a psychologist. Maybe they think you're not a
Mm-hmm.
doctor. A lot of things that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
came. I obviously was in a dilemma because I love the
Mm-hmm.
subject, but I
Yes.
also have to see at the end of the day it is a profession, and
Yes.
that's something that you have to wake up every day and go to.
Yes.
Um, so I did little research, and my
Mm-hmm.
passion always is about brain. Anything about brain
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
intrigues me quite a bit. So I thought,
Wow.
there are two options. One is neurology,
Mm-hmm.
one is neuropsychiatry. Now, which one, or
Mm-hmm.
neurosurgery? But
Mm-hmm.
surgery is not my cup of tea. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought, either neurology or psychiatry. But for
Mm-hmm.
neurology, I need to go through medicine and then do
Mm-hmm.
neurology. While
Okay.
psychiatry is right there, you can directly get
Okay.
into the brain area. So
Okay.
I couldn't
Okay.
wait.
Okay.
So I just jumped
So
into it.
you just jumped into the brain area.
Yeah, I
and
dived
and
into it
thank
actually.
thank God you did, because like, to be very honest, people are I mean, in India, people only want to do, or only want to study what everybody's studying. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to you have to become a dentist, you have to become MBBS, or you have to become an engineer, or go
yeah.
for BCom. Girls are usually forced to go into BCom because that's an easy option, and then once you do your gynecology, like, a lot of people, like, if they're going if they're letting the girls do the MBBS, they want the girls to do gynecology because that's the safe
Yeah,
bet.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
like, to be very honest, I did not hear a lot of people get into what you do, which is absolutely amazing, especially in India.
yeah,
Because, to be very
yeah,
honest, I think there's this thing in India, there's this taboo in India where nobody talks about mental health, nobody talks about how important it is to talk to people. But
yeah,
they just
yeah,
think that, okay, yeah, like, it's nothing, like, it's nothing. But it is very, very, very important. And thanks to doctors
yeah,
like you and people like you who are actually taking the
yeah,
initiative, and who are actually trying to make a difference. So let's get back to another question,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is, when you started working at Kim's, right? So, like, did you, was this your, I'm like very awestruck right now, okay? Like, I am very excited to have someone so good and someone so smart, be in front of me. So I'm just like
Thank
a
you.
little bit frazzled. So let's talk about you getting into Kim's. Was that your first
Yeah.
choice?
I worked at St. Teresa's Hospital in Hyderabad
Okay.
for a bit
Okay.
because
Mm-hmm.
there is a work culture difference between a Catholic institution and a corporate hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, coming from a Catholic institution, it's very seamless to go into another Catholic organization.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
went to St. Teresa's, which was a great experience. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
particular uh, 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 class of patients, if I may say so,
Mm-hmm.
that are very very humble, modest, and they think doctor is God. That kind of that kind of attitude, which is amazing. I worked there for a year. But then I thought, like, my exposure is going to be better if I move to a hospital like KIMS, because there is a better tie-up with, because we have a brain clinic in KIMS where
Mm-hmm.
we work in a team of neurophysician, neurosurgeon, and a neuropsychiatrist. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought,
Mm-hmm.
if I get to be in a team, so I can learn more than being
Yes.
a independent unit by
Yes.
myself.
Yes, it's
So I
always
thought
good to have a team. Yes. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's really
yeah. So
good.
I thought Kim was the better option.
So let's talk about your
Yeah,
approach. How do you approach your
yeah,
patients? When people come to you, I'm very sure when, for example, if I have a mental problem, if I'm going to talk to a doctor, if I'm going to talk to anybody, first of all, people with mental illness, like people with depression, people with anxiety, panic attacks, they are very misjudged, right? People don't understand them. So for them to talk to somebody at home and tell them that, hey, I am going through something so difficult, and making people in their family understand that it's actually a problem, and then going to see a doctor, I mean, for a patient, I'm very sure it's going to be so hard. how do you treat patients like me? If I'm having some mental problem and if I come to you, I'm very hesitant to open up. How do you approach?
I think the stigma is not as bad as I thought it is.
Okay.
I thought it's going to take quite some time for me to even prove myself and then convince if I'm good or not, or even convince the patients to come back.
Okay.
Fortunately, it's not that bad at all.
Okay.
Yeah, although stigma is still there. People don't go and tell other people that, hey, I'm seeing a psychiatrist, but they are
Yes.
seeing a psychiatrist. Back
Yes.
in the day,
Yes.
they were never even seeing a psychiatrist because they thought, oh my God, what will
Oh my
people
God.
say? Now they are
Yeah.
coming. Yeah, yeah. Now they
Because
come to my clinic, but then, yeah. But then when they see me outside, probably in a wedding, they might not tell that, hey, this is my psychiatrist. Like,
because
and
because people
yeah.
feel ashamed.
Mm,
People feel ashamed probably
mm,
because
mm,
if I'm telling anybody that, hey, I'm seeking a psychiatrist, the first thing that people say, "Are pagal hai no? तुम
mm,
पागल है तुम्हारे दिमाग में कुछ है." Like that's the thing that
mm.
people would respond to. But I think people should actually empathize. It's more serious than any other disease. It's more serious that
Yeah.
because somebody is going through something here, it's always there. They're feeling depressed every single day. So yeah. So how do you, like, if you see a patient outside in a wedding, if they don't introduce you as your doctor, what do you think?
Fortunately, they do to me, but I did
Okay.
hear horror stories from my friends who are fellow psychiatrists that, oh, they run away from me, they don't want me to say hi to them, etc. To me, I think gladly, I didn't face anything awkward. People actually go and tell that, go back to him or things like that. Or maybe because, me being young also helps because a lot of young crowd can connect very easy. And I have a very non-judgmental approach. As a
That's
person, I'm
nice.
very non-judgmental in general. So you
Very
could tell
good.
me the worst thing about you, and it still doesn't sound very bad to me. I still try to understand if I went through what you went through, probably I would behave exactly the way you do. So there's no
Exactly.
point I should like blame you.
Yeah, because
So I generally have a non-judgmental approach. Yeah, that really
that
helps.
that that's actually the best way to actually deal with
Yeah,
anybody. That's
yeah,
actually a
yeah,
very good way to even talk to somebody without judging, because you would not
yeah,
know anything
yeah,
about what a person is going through unless and until you walk into their shoes. That's what I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's talk about a very important question. How important it is to talk about mental health. Did you hear? The
Uh,
network was
I don't know.
okay. Okay,
I lost
it's
you.
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. How important it is to talk about mental health.
I think it's very important. Um, More so because I think a lot of people see, to be very honest, I work with two classes of patients. I'm being
Okay.
very transparent. One class is where I work in a medical college, so I get to see people from a lower socioeconomic status, and they do what you say. If I say that you have depression, these are the symptoms, and you have to take treatment, and they will blindly follow it. Right? I also work with upper middle class and upper class people at my hospital. Uh, they have a lot of questions, a lot of
Okay.
concerns. I'm obviously happy to answer, and then they get convinced. Um, but I did hear from a lot of my friends who work in the middle class setting. When I say middle class, it might not be necessarily in the terms of finance. It
Yes.
can be
Yes.
the
Yes.
education and a lot of other
Education.
factors.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes. I think there's a lot of problem over there because if you're feeling sad for, let's just say, a month or 2 months or 3 months, they don't realize that it could be a disease. They think oh, that's part of the life. Life is never rosy all the time. So suck it up and
Yes.
be
Yes.
fine.
Yes. Yes.
That kind of thing. Mental illness is underrepresented in some populations and overrepresented in some populations as well. I must say this, sometimes
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
little thing that we go through also, we try to
Make
catastrophize
it
it
big.
to another level. Yeah,
Yes.
saying that, oh my God, this is so big, probably I'm depressed.
Depressed.
And
Yes.
yeah, and psychiatry is merely reduced to English.
Yes.
There is difference between in English, if I say, oh, I'm depressed, than, I am
Actually
depressed,
being depressed.
being
Exactly.
depressed.
Let me tell
Yeah,
you something.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Or even if someone is angry, if someone is throwing a fit at you, you'll say, "Oh my God, you're psychotic." There is difference between saying somebody you're psychotic than actually having psychosis. Or if somebody is extremely clean, if you say, oh, your OCD is kicking in, or my OCD is kicking in, sometimes it became fashionable to say, I have OCD, my OCD. I really get infuriated because, OCD is an anxiety disorder. It's not being extremely clean.
Exactly.
It's something that you don't want to be, but you're forced to be. There's a big difference, So, underrepresented and overrepresented. So I want to strike a balance that is only by education, by telling that these are the real symptoms.
Yes,
This is where you should be.
These are something that, you just see on Instagram and then you just follow on Instagram. I mean, I'm actually a motivational speaker on Instagram, like a positively influenced people with my stories and my thoughts and everything. And I see a lot of what you're saying among a lot of young girls. They say, oh my God, I'm so depressed. I mean, don't say that you're depressed, because you're not depressed. People with depression, they go through a lot. It's a very bad state of mind. They're not happy all the time. This is something that you're just going through maybe for like a second or maybe for an hour. It will pass. Don't say that, oh my God, I'm having panic attacks, because God forbid that thing happens to you, because it's actually a very bad thing that you have to go through. But, on Instagram, it's a very common thing that a lot of people think that, hey, it's very cool to say I'm depressed, I'm having panic attacks, I'm having anxiety. So
I think I see a point here, because when I was in medical school, because I was a teenager, and I posted something on Facebook. That said, I thought it was very cool to post it. I said that finding friends with the same mental disorder is priceless, and I tagged a couple of my friends. Back in the day, I thought it was very, very cool to say, but now going back, I thought, it's very stupid of me, because a lot of people might think it's actually cool. And now that I'm in the profession, I know the burden of using words like that. I think I don't blame the people. With education, I think everybody
would understand.
Start being sensible.
Yes. Let's get back to more professional questions. These were the questions that I wanted to ask you. Let's go back to the questions that my team has made for you. The first question is, how should one decide to consult a psychiatrist or a psychologist?
It is definitely a common question, right? I mean, a lot of people do have these kind of thoughts.
Yes.
I'll keep it very simple. If you have to classify all the diseases in psychiatry, I can classify them into something called organic, something called reactive.
Okay.
Organic meaning it is occurring because of some disturbance in the brain. It could be my sugar levels. It could be my sodium levels. It could be my oxygen levels. It could be my blood flow. It could be a vitamin deficiency. It could be a physical disorder that is presenting as mental disorder.
Yeah.
And there are other diseases which are reactive. There is no problem in the brain in terms of in terms of physical parameters, but somebody went through a bad breakup or relationship failure, or they're stuck in an overwhelming situation. Could be a financial strain. Could be motherhood. New mother.
Of course.
Could be 1001 stressors.
Yeah. Yes.
By and large, organic will be treated only by psychiatrists. They won't be treated by counseling, right? Whereas reactive is mostly helped by psychologists.
Like just talking to them and helping them find a way.
Yeah. Yes. However, I do genuinely believe, not because I'm a psychiatrist, I genuinely believe, get a consultation with psychiatrist and rule out if there is any organic cause that is causing your psychological symptoms, and then go to a psychologist.
Okay.
But again, there is a problem here, right? Some of the doctors might be like, okay, just start the medications. Even if it is very, very mild, even if it's like a day-to-day stressor. Or there's another situation where you go to a psychologist and they're not able to recognize, oh, this could be because of a thyroid deficiency, or this could be because of vitamin deficiency. They will start counseling. That will definitely help day-to-day, but I don't know if you'll not have a relapse again.
True.
Right? So you need to, I think it's not a treatment option. psychiatrist or a psychologist. I think it is psychiatrist and a psychologist.
Psychologist. Okay.
And it's not or.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first you need to go and see if you need treatment.
You need treatment, or because we tend to do some medical lab investigations to see if any of that is causing. Once we rule out and say that I think you should also go to. See, this is my approach, right? I mean, not everybody follows this kind of approach.
Yeah, of course.
So I tell patients that So I tell my patients, I think you have mild anxiety. Obviously, I do counsel them a little bit, saying that you have to do deep breathing exercises, etc., etc. And I tell them talking to somebody really helps. I think you should definitely go and see a professional psychologist. That really helps. But let's just say there's an example of a husband and wife having a lot of interpersonal relationship issues. Both are not compatible and they're not able to understand each other. If they come to me, I don't know if I'll be able to help them. I can ask both of them to get the blood test done or take the medications.
Yes, makes sense.
I can't tell them both of you take tablets, you'll be fine. Marriage is gonna work. No.
Exactly. I think for marriage,
I wish it's that easy.
I mean, being married, I understand that if couples fight, they have to go through couples counseling. Very important. Before going to anybody, they need to understand if they actually want to work it out or not. If they don't want to work it out and they just go to a doctor to see a fancy doctor and pay money and then be like, oh, we are going to see a psychologist or we're taking therapy, it's just to show. But you're actually not working on yourself and you're not working on your relationship. So first you need to make sure that, hey, I understand we're going through whatever. So what we need to do is we need to first figure out, that we are going to find a common ground that we are going to land onto, and then go to a doctor and then talk to the doctor and then try to figure out, anyways. So while we are on this topic, can you please, this is my personal question that I want to ask you, that because I see a lot of young people here. What do you think about, girls or boys when they go through a breakup and then they feel like the world is crushing and then they, they're very sad. They feel like they're very depressed. They feel like, okay, my life is going to end. What do you have to say about that? Not judgmentally, I know you're not going to do that, but, maybe my question came out wrong. How would you help? How would you tell all the young kids who are going through a breakup? How would you advise them? How would you advise them?
Something about teenage, right? Something about adolescence, where most of us are very defiant, very rebellious, and we are very moody, impulsive. All of us are that. Most of us went through that phase.
Yes.
I genuinely believe in time healing a lot of things. A lot of us don't give time for something to pass. Either we jump into a rebound relationship or we tend to probably end our life.
Yes.
I think neither of them are right. I want you to sit back, understand that, you're probably just 18 or 20 or 30 or 40 for that matter. You have a long life. Every relationship, you're supposed to learn something. You're supposed to become a better person. Or if that is not happening, it's glad that, it ended. If you got stuck in a toxic relationship or abusive relationship, and if you start defining love in terms of, oh, this is how love is based on that relationship that you're stuck in, I think you should get out.
Yes.
Once you get out, take some time off for yourself. Don't try to go socialize and try to get a new partner. Don't do that. And don't. A lot of us tend to cope up in a very self-destructive way. We tend to probably drink a little bit more or smoke something, or casual sex and this kind of thing. However, I'm not moral policing here, but I do think that sit back and try to understand what you're going through. You went through something, the relationship didn't work out for whatever reasons. Try to understand these are the reasons, and I will make sure in my next relationship I'm treated better, or I will treat the other person better, so I won't end up in this place.
True.
And give it time. Time will definitely, what you feel today, you won't feel a month later.
Exactly. True. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question. How do you think people are handling the stress related to the present situation, both children and adults?
Not very good, I must say. In fact, I think for a lot of doctors, the work has become a little lesser now. for me, not just for me, I think for the community of psychiatrists, I think the work has really become doubled or tripled.
Okay.
Lot of patients are in anxious state. Not even patients. I think the whole world is in anxious state because there is a lot of uncertainty, right? We don't know
We don't know.
when this will be cured and when we'll get back to the normal life. And most of us are scared for our loved ones rather than for ourselves.
Yes,
right?
very true.
For example, I am personally scared about my mother. She's old, and I'm going to hospital every day. I'm going to casualties, ICUs, and I'm going back home. Um, um, so we all are scared.
Yes.
But I genuinely feel like a moderate amount of anxiety is good in this situation.
Yes.
It is good.
Yes.
Because
you don't become negligent, right?
You don't become negligent, and
Yes.
here you can't afford to be negligent.
Yes.
I'm telling my patients, even if you're overdoing something, it's okay. Don't underdo it.
Yes.
If you're going and washing your hands multiple times, it's still okay than you being very casual about it.
Yes, very
right?
true. Very true. Very true.
A lot of people are. I think let's just say 30 to 40% of people are doing fine.
Yes.
Rest of them, I think some 10 to 20% of them are very negligent, very casual. And they are obviously a threat to themselves and to the people around them.
Yes.
And there is 40% of the patients who are actually not doing very well. Because, probably they're not as privileged to sit at home and, still pay rent and eat food.
Yeah.
Or, someone else's livelihood is dependent on them.
True.
Or especially if you are like a new pregnant woman, you just got pregnant, or if you're just about to deliver, or if you're old, because in newspaper it's repeatedly told that old people are at high risk. If you're above 60,
yeah. So they're constantly under a lot of pressure that, oh my God, so this disease is actually going to, get to me. And then, young kids. So like moms who have newborn kids, they're probably so stressed out about, first of all, they're stressed out about them and the family. And then they're super stressed out about their baby. And then maybe people who are having this mental disorder, they're thinking, oh my God, I have people in my family, my mom, my grandma, and then they're going to get affected. So it's adding to the pressure.
Yeah.
All these things are adding to the pressure. Oh my God. So how do you deal with situation like that? Do you have any patients that are going through anything? Like, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but because it's confidential.
No. Actually, a lot of them. A lot of them are.
Okay.
I have some patients whom I treated like an year back or maybe 1.5 years back. They all are coming back saying that, I was better. And then, I told them you're better. You don't have to come back anymore. And they're coming back saying that, I think my disease is back. I'm not doing very well, my anxiety is getting really bad. I started having panic attacks. Some of them know that it's because of the current situation. Some of them don't even know why it's happening. Some of them don't even know if it's anxiety or not. What is anxiety? A lot of people don't know.
Yeah. So can you please tell us what is anxiety? Because I saw in one of the question here, somebody asked, what is, let me just scroll up real quick. I think somebody asked, what is the difference between anxiety and panic attacks? I think that was a question.
So panic attacks are the most severe form of anxiety, right? This is where a patient straight away walks into a casualty or an emergency room, gets their ECG done and ultrasound, 2D echo done for the heart, and doctor tells that your heart is fine. Probably you're going through a panic attack.
Okay.
Right. So it is short lasting.
Okay.
But it is very intense that you feel like you're going to have a cardiac arrest, heart attack.
Okay.
You're going to have a heart attack.
Okay.
It is that bad. Whereas anxiety can occur in both physical and psychological forms, right?
Okay. Yeah.
See, when you feel you are faced with a situation or a stressor, and if that stress can overwhelm you or overwhelm your brain, your brain obviously goes into a panic mode, right? Your brain starts releasing certain hormones into your body that acts on different areas of your body, and it causes certain symptoms.
Sure.
For example, if I see a snake coming into my room right now, it's normal that I feel scared.
Yes, of course.
Right? Because my eyes are telling my brain that that is a dangerous. That could be a That could
That
be
could be
a
a threat.
poisonous one.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And my brain will immediately secrete something called flight or fright hormones.
Okay.
It either makes me run away from there or face it,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if I'm sitting in my room and I'm like, oh, what if snake comes into my room right now?
Okay. So you're making up things in
Even
your mind.
not making up, even that passing thought can
Okay.
trigger the same amount of anxiety that
Okay.
something real did,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It
True.
could be because you probably read somewhere about snakes killing somebody,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm.
you actually got stuck in a situation like that,
Yeah.
or it's just a passing thought that really did affect your brain.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So there are physical symptoms and psychological symptoms. Physical symptoms will be you have to watch out for palpitations.
Mm-hmm,
Palpitations mean your heartbeat is really racing
mm-hmm,
high, and
mm-hmm,
sometimes if you're in a quiet room, you can actually hear your heartbeat.
mm-hmm.
Most of us must have felt the symptom when probably if you're giving a stage performance or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if you got caught in an awkward situation or things like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
That is palpitation. Second will
Mm-hmm,
be shortness of breath.
mm-hmm,
You can't breathe, so you tend
mm-hmm,
to hyperventilate. You tend
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
feel suffocated in a space.
Yes.
Then you'll feel fainted. You
Mm-hmm,
feel like you're lightheaded. You're gonna faint anytime.
mm-hmm,
You can have sweating. You can feel like you're shivering.
mm-hmm,
Your vision starts blurring.
mm-hmm,
Etc. Etc. Sometimes you have urinary urgency.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Multiple symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas psychological would be you feel like you're gonna die right now.
Yeah.
Lot of negative, uncontrollable thoughts come to you.
Mm-hmm,
Or you feel like a feeling of doom,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
or you
mm-hmm.
feel restless. You don't feel
Yes.
settled at all. You
Yes.
feel like okay, something
Like
is gonna happen.
constant movement in your body, like your brain and your
Yes.
body is not cooperating together. You're just
Cooperation.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what's happening,
Yes.
like you
Yes.
cannot think straight like that.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So these symptoms will occur. This is called anxiety,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm,
The same symptoms, if they occur in the most severe form that you can think of,
mm-hmm.
for a very short-lasting, brief period, that is called a panic attack,
Yes.
right? Panic
Yeah.
attack really resembles a cardiac arrest. If you ever had a cardiac arrest, you'll know that this
Okay.
is exactly how that feels. Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, if anxiety or panic attacks are not treated, it does put a lot of load on your heart.
Yes.
Your heart is made to work twice as normal it's supposed to. So your heart might shut down eventually, right? That is called cardiac arrest. So
Yes,
this is
of
called
course.
anxiety and panic attacks. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So much information, so much new information that I'm soaking in, and I'm very sure that everybody who's watching, they're also learning so many things from you. Like, so insightful,
I,
Dr.
I,
Charan.
I thought it's not. I think it's not overflowing.
No. I'm very sure that everybody, like for me also, this is like some new information, like really some new information. Let's go to the next one. What is anxiety and panic attacks? Like we already spoke about this, but somebody actually asked a question over here, which is what is anxiety and depression? Like what is depression? Let's talk about depression for a second, because I see that word, like coming into the comments again and again. What is depression?
So first of all, depression is a medical illness.
Okay.
Right? It's not a phase, or it's not an English word.
Yes.
It's neither of that. It is a medical
Everybody
illness.
needs to understand that.
Please know it's a medical illness. Just to keep it on a very light note, your body is like a car, right? It's like a car. It needs to run on fuel. Fuel
Yes.
can be petrol, diesel,
Yes.
petroleum, gas,
Yes.
anything.
Yes.
It can be anything.
Yes.
Likewise, your body and brain runs on different things, right? Your body mainly runs on many hormones. You heard of insulin, you heard of growth hormone, you heard of thyroid hormones, etc.
Okay.
Likewise, people don't realize that brain also needs fuel to run.
Yes.
That
of course.
fuel is called as neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are the brain chemicals that runs the brain. If I'm thinking right now, if I'm answering to you, that is because of my neurochemicals, right?
Yes.
There are many kinds of neurochemicals. For example, it's called dopamine, it's called serotonin, and there are many medical terminologies which I want to refrain from. Something called serotonin is a neurochemical that helps in maintaining your mood, your appetite, your sleep, your interest levels, your drive, motivation, sex, as in your libido, interest for sex, attention and concentration, right? For whatever reasons, when serotonin levels goes down in the brain, all of these will go down. Its functions will go down.
Okay.
So you will constantly feel low mood.
Low.
You don't have interest in doing any activity, be it work or pleasure. It won't be like, oh, I don't want to go to work or college, but I want to go to a movie. That's not depression.
Yeah, that's not
Depression,
depression.
you don't feel like doing work or pleasure. Nothing, neither.
You don't want to get out of your bed. You just feel very sad. You feel very unmotivated.
Yeah, very unmotivated. There is no drive to do anything. You feel constantly tired. You know, a lot of patients do tell that I came from my car to your OPD and I feel like I already ran half a marathon. You know, they feel that tired. You know, it's mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, everything. And their appetite can be increased or decreased. The sleep can be increased or decreased. They're not able to concentrate on anything. A lot of people do come with concentration problems or memory problems. They say that I'm forgetting everything. I'm forgetting if I put salt in my curry or not. You know, that's not because you have a memory deficit. It's because of depression where you're not able to focus on something. You know. In severe forms, you can have, you know, no will to even live. So that can end up in like a suicidal intent or attempts. This is called clinical depression. It's a medical disease.
Okay.
Now, my concern is, if you're clinically depressed, right? Counseling can't be your first go-to.
Okay.
Because we're talking about brain chemicals having to go back to normal. So you need to consult doctor and see if it's actually depression or if you're feeling a little low these days for whatever reasons. Then I will assess you and I'll tell you that I think it's a phase. It's not a medical disease for you. I think you should definitely go and see a particular psychologist. They're going to definitely help you with getting through this phase. Or even if it's a medical disease, I will start giving them medications, which will take good 4 weeks to work. And I'll tell them, please go and talk to a counselor. That's really going to help you. Because these patients mostly are not blessed with a good family support or good marital support.
Yes,
you know,
very true.
Or even if they do, maybe they don't want to talk. Maybe they want to talk to a neutral person.
Yeah, because you know, they're very scared of that judgment that they're going to get. You know, once they tell people that this is sometimes, you know, like I have some people in my family who are going through something like this and they're taking medical help. You know, when they started figuring it out that, hey, I'm going through something like this, not a lot of people were very welcoming. Not a lot of people were understanding what they're going through. They always said, okay, that person is always throwing tantrums. Okay, always moody, very stubborn, don't want to do anything, very bad. So, you know, because they don't get the love from home, they tend to go outside. And probably when they go outside, they meet nice people sometimes they meet bad people. So, you know, I'm not saying bad people like, you know, people are bad, but, you know, they fall into those circles where they're not supposed to be. So they turn towards drugs, or probably they turn towards something that they're not supposed to be doing. And then when they do that, people, they don't understand that why did they go and do that? People actually only blame them for something they did. So I think for people, it's very important to understand that not everybody is going to be happy. Sometimes people are going to have some problems. Sometimes people are going to go through something. So when somebody's actually coming and talking to you, if probably I'm always happy, I'm a very happy person, but something happens in my life and then I'm very sad. So people need to observe all these things. And then they need to see that, hey, what happened, Fatima? Like, you were very happy. What happened to you? So just because I started lashing out doesn't mean that I am a bad person. I'm becoming a bad person. Maybe there's something going on and nobody's understanding me. So that's the reason why I'm lashing out. So because of this fear of judgment and fear of feeling left out and the weird one out, people, you know, like they do wrong things and then they turn to wrong people. And then, you know, it turns into a bad thing. And then probably people die, or probably people don't get the medical help that they need. And then they become the bad person in the family who's, you know, like getting the bad name to the family. That's what I have seen, you know, in my experience, which is very sad.
Which is true. I genuinely feel a lot of environmental factors. You know, I spoke about brain chemicals and everything. Apart from that, a lot of environmental factors. I think parenting and friendships are really important in shaping somebody's life. You know, for most of your, you know, like early two decades, parenting is very important. You know, if parenting is not done right, which is very difficult, you know, it's very difficult to find out what is right way of parenting. It's trial and error method. That can completely make or break you. After which, you know, your next phase is with your friends. If you fall into wrong companionship, you know, there's no goodness or badness in you. You know, it's all learned. You know, we all learn. We all observe and learn people. You know, if someone is good, I think it's not the credit of the person. The credit goes to parents and the friends
Yes,
around.
yes.
I personally think like that, and even
Yeah.
professionally, I do believe that kind of thing really helps.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I think you can't choose your parents, so you can
Yes,
always choose
your friends.
your friends. You should always
Yes,
choose
you should
friends.
always
Yeah,
choose your friends. But you know, like
yeah.
these days, it's very hard for people, you know, especially the young generation to choose friends. Once they're into that circle, most of them feel like, okay, this is very cool. This is a nice way of living, and then they think that this is very normal because they don't understand. Once, you know, when they're very young, they don't understand. But once they reach that age, it's too late. You know. Maybe,
I'm really scared
this
for
is
the
this is me speaking as a normal human being. I'm very sure
no, no,
that you as a professional probably would have like a very different, you know, way of thinking, but you know what I
uh,
observe around me is what
no, no,
I'm
no.
okay.
I'm as lay as you are with my
Okay.
observation. Right? They have nothing
Okay.
to do with
Okay.
I didn't learn this at all. I learned brain and its functions and not functioning. Um, I'm really scared for the future generations.
Yes.
I think the resilience has gone down. A lot of people are not, with no offense if there are youngsters watching this.
Yes.
I feel a lot of us are losing our personalities. I see a lot of
Yes.
people are having herd mentality.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
categorize a lot of youngsters into 3, 4 categories, and they fit into that. You
Yes.
know, I think not that I'm very old, but back in my college, I think every person had a personality. Every person is so
Yes.
different and unique.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
amazing for me to understand a lot of people. These days, if I'm talking to somebody, I know 10 more people who are exactly like that.
Yes.
So
Very
I
true.
think people should not try to be like others. You should have your own success, own failure, own journey. That really helps.
Yes.
Um,
Very true.
yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very, very true.
yeah.
Next question. Toll on people with pre-existing mental and physical health condition. How do you think this whole lockdown is taking a toll on people with mental and physical health conditions?
Not very good, especially physical more than mental, if I should be very
Okay.
honest here. Because we have a lot of people who are hypertensive, diabetics, and having cardiac problems, and had a stroke before in the past. One of the main risk factor for them to have a recurrence is stress, right?
Yes.
And most of them try to be not stressed, but currently the whole world is in stressful situation, so they really can't
Yes.
do
Yes.
anything about it. So there are a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
so I work in a team of doctors, so they are telling me these days that this patient has very well controlled sugar levels, and suddenly they're spiking very high. Even insulin is not able to safeguard the levels. What is the reason? A lot of the physical parameters are going haywire because of it. So I request all the audience and to take your parents for medical checkups and see if their blood pressure and sugars and everything is in normal parameters or not. Whenever it is safe, not immediately,
Yes.
because these are systemic diseases. These are chronic diseases. So eventually, you don't go to doctor every month. You keep going
Yes.
once in 6 months or 7 months, etc.
Yes.
Yeah, if they're not very well controlled, have a sudden stroke or cardiac arrest, which cannot be predicted by anybody. So make sure they are well controlled.
Yeah.
And people with pre-existing mental health conditions, especially if it's depression and anxiety, they are worsening. But I think other diseases are fine. I think it's not really doing much.
Okay.
Fortunately, the substance addictions have gone down because of the lockdown. The cannabis use has gone down, and nicotine use there. Alcohol has gone down, and now it's again raising. So I mean, it's a mixed bag
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Totally makes sense. Next question. I think this is going to be the last question for you. Approach
yeah.
towards someone who reveals indulgence in self-destructive and suicidal tendencies. This is a very important question.
Also, it's a very sensitive question, right?
Yes.
Mm. So I don't know how do I start saying about it. It's very unfortunate here. Like
Yes.
you've been telling till now that a lot of people don't have a vent out of their emotions. They don't discuss with anybody,
Yes.
probably because they think that they'll be judged, or they might have got judged in the past.
Of
So they
course.
form an opinion that, oh my God, people will judge me, or people will
Yeah.
weird me out, or anything like that.
Yeah. And you know, Dr. Charan, sometimes what happens, even if people talk to somebody and then they try to understand, But then once the person is gone, they don't actually go and check up on that person. So venting in front
Yeah.
of the person doesn't make any sense, because that person is only listening rather than actually providing the person with the help that that person needs. So basically, if I come and vent in front of you, you're just going to listen and be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the moment is gone, and then there's no help. So people probably feel like, okay, I went and I spoke to some people, but then I'm not getting the help that I need. So they feel like more left out. And then maybe that causes them to, like hurt themselves or go on a suicide rampage.
This is when psychologists come into a big play,
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to provide you constant support and guidance,
Mm-hmm.
and um, um, help that you need and deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't go for financial reasons. I do
Yeah.
tell everybody there are some amazing communities that are doing free counseling as well.
Yeah.
Suit yourself, if you can afford, I think you should definitely go to a somebody whom you can pay and get help, or at least there are a lot of helplines that you can go to. But
Okay.
the thing about self-harm, most of the patients that I have seen with self-harm are not the ones who wants to end the life. They don't want to end the life. They want to live.
Yeah. They're
Hence,
just
they're
not
doing
heard.
self-harm.
They're
No,
probably
hence
not
they're
heard. Yeah.
probably not heard.
Yeah.
They feel self-harm is the only way they have release of the emotional pain, because physical pain definitely overtakes the psychological pain here.
True.
And they feel like, at least for the moment, I can forget my psychological pain.
Yes.
And it's not once, it's a repeated cycle. Every time
Yes.
they go through something painful, they tend to indulge in self-destructive behavior.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be cutting the hands. It can be
Mm-hmm.
banging the head. It can be burning themselves,
Yes.
here and there. It can be multiple things. It can be choking themselves. It can be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes people also do it because of guilt.
Yes.
Sometimes there is overwhelming guilt about everything, especially in depression. You feel you're the worst person, and you feel,
Yeah.
if you hear news that somewhere there is an earthquake, you tend to somewhere find the logic that it's because of you.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
my God.
you tend to look at only negatives in you and minimize all the positives.
Mm-hmm.
You should understand, we all have negatives and positives. We are
Yeah. Of
not
course.
black or white. We all are gray, right?
Yeah.
We all have that zone. People don't realize into that. Some of them express themselves, their pain, creatively through self-harm also.
Yeah.
They tend to, if they went through a breakup, they tend to carve their boyfriend or girlfriend's name on their
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. They feel like, that's the way they're showing love.
Love. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are different reasons for self-harm. But if you see somebody indulging into self-harm, you should definitely, that's an emergency that you need to please bring him to a psychiatrist, and I'm going to evaluate if they're going through any kind of sexual abuse, physical abuse, multiple things.
Yeah.
I recently saw a child who went through sexual abuse, and the child doesn't even know that there's something called sex, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
a child feels dirty and nasty about self,
Yeah.
and he tends to cut himself.
Okay.
He feels that's the way he clears off the impurities from him.
Impurities. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a very sensitive thing, and this is
Yeah.
when
Of
parents
course.
come into big play.
Yes. Of
Uh,
course.
you always have to see how children are responding.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any change in their usual pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, it's
And
not easy.
and of
When
course,
you
of course, I'm
yeah,
very sure it's not easy.
it's not easy. When you signed up for being parent,
Mm-hmm.
I want all the newly married couple or not to be mentally prepared to becoming a parent, because you are
Yeah.
responsible for someone else's life.
Of course. Of
A
course.
lot of people become parents for wrong reasons,
Mm-hmm.
because the clock is ticking. The girl is crossing 30,
Yeah. Or
or
that they just
this
got
is right.
married,
Yeah,
or
or
they
this
just
got
got
married,
married,
or
so
this is,
you have to have a baby.
yeah, or your parents will help now if you become parents. As in, grandparents are
Yeah.
there
Yeah. Yeah.
in healthy form, they can take care. These are not the reasons. These are
Of
not the
course.
reasons. And
Of course.
parenting was much easier back in the day than now,
Yes. I'm very sure.
because society is not a great place to live in these days.
Oh my God, I know. I have a
Yeah,
4-year-old. I am, oh my God. I
yeah,
had to
yeah,
be mentally prepared to be a mom.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had
yeah,
my baby after 6 years of marriage. A lot of people were like, why are you not having a
yeah,
baby? Are you,
yeah,
are
yeah,
can you not have a baby? I'm like, I need to be sure that I can be a
yeah,
mom and I can take care of the baby. So
yeah,
I took
yeah.
my time. And I think what you're saying and what information you're giving is so absolutely right. Thank you so much for being so like honest and so informative and being so kind. I understand that, you're very busy. You are doing so many things at one time, even though, everybody's on lockdown, but, you being a doctor, you gave us so much time and you made time for our lives and you came here and taught me. And I'm very sure a lot of people who ever watched, you gave a lot of information out. So seriously, thank you so much, Dr. Charan. It was really, really, really a pleasure to have you. Let's just take like two questions from the audience, and then we can wrap up this. Okay, very, very good question. How to overcome panic attacks and depression when the reason is not known?
Take the easy way. Don't try to be hard on yourself that I'm gonna get through this myself. No, take help, get help, always get help. Sometimes you feel like, no, I'm a strong person. You still are a strong person. It's just a disease, right? It's got nothing to do with your mental ability. It's got nothing to do with your personality. It's got nothing to do with you're a weak person, fragile person, docile person, nothing. The strongest person, the richest person, most happiest person can go through depression and anxiety. It is a disease. It is a disease. Please seek help. No one has to convince you this much. You just have to go see the doctor, see a psychologist, get better, and go back to real life, of where there is both happiness and sadness again.
True.
Yeah.
Last question. I feel I have anxiety. I break out sometimes, and I think I have become insomniac lately. Help me out.
Those are some pretty big words, right? Anxiety and panic
attacks and insomnia. Oh my God. I cannot imagine what she's going through. I mean, if we cannot sleep for one night, we are so restless and we are so irritated. Imagine somebody going through all of that. Oh my God.
I mean, I really think you'll have to get evaluated. It's not, I just cannot tell you, please do deep breathing, please do yoga, please do meditation. You should do all of that. I'm not trying to minimize those things. You should definitely do all of that. You should definitely seek help. About sleep, right? A lot of people are having sleep disturbances because probably there is no proper routine next day morning. So you tend to sleep in the night and sleep late in the night and etc. Don't take naps in the afternoon, guys. You're supposed to sleep continuously in the night for 7 to 8 hours. That's about it. And when you're not able to sleep, just close your eyes. Don't look at your phone. Don't keep on looking at the time, and don't get scared about it. Sometimes, even if you're not able to sleep, closing your eyes, switching off your brain, and resting is also rest to brain. You don't have to pass out to sleep. You should get that. But if you're recurrently having sleep disturbances, please see a doctor. A lot of patients come and tell me, when I ask them why didn't you see a doctor for the last 1 year, they tell me that, oh, I'm scared of sleeping pills. Please, there's nothing called sleeping pills. We're going to assess if you need or not. And even if you need, not all sleeping medications are addictive. There are a lot of new medications, new as in 7-8-year-old medications, that are not addictive at all. In fact, pain medications are addictive.
Yes, of course.
Which you don't think twice before taking it. Not all pain medications.
Yeah. Just consult a doctor, basically.
Also, if you're not able to sleep tonight, obviously morning you'll feel sleepy.
Yes.
Don't sleep. Try to deprive yourself till the evening.
Yes.
That is called sleep deprivation therapy. It really, really works.
Yeah. Sometimes what I do if I cannot sleep, I close my eyes and I focus on my toes. On my toes. Like I think, okay, my toes are falling asleep, my feet are falling asleep, my legs, my hands, my body, and then I can literally feel sometimes my face, everything is like resting. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it's a medical thing, but I actually trained myself to do that.
It does. I actually forgot about it. Muscle tension. If your muscles are tense, you cannot sleep. You're supposed to relax them. You fantastically pointed out, it's called progressive muscle relaxation, where you take one muscle and relax it. You can do it from head to toe or toe to head.
Yeah.
That really helps. That really, really helps.
Yeah, because trust me, I mean, I'm very busy. Okay. Apart from the lockdown, I have a very busy life. So sometimes because of a lot of, works, I'm not going to say stress, like a lot of work, like burden, I feel like, okay, I'm very overwhelmed. I cannot sleep. So what I do is I focus on my toes and then I take my way up. By the time I come to my head, I feel like my entire body is very relaxed and very, amazing. And then I just like, go to sleep. So if you can try to do that, it's going to take a lot of hard work. Okay. In the beginning, it's not, you're not going to feel anything. You're just going to be like, what? I don't feel anything on my legs. But then it's just going to take some time. So yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Charan, for being here. Thank you so much for your time. I know we are a little way, over the stipulated time that we promised. I apologize for that, but the conversation,
no, it's fine.
the information that you were giving, everything was so good, and we had a very good flow. So I just didn't want to break it in the middle, and I wanted to give out as much information as I can. So I thank you on behalf of MVT India team, as well as the Rubaroo team, for joining us and giving us, the time. And you're an amazing person. What you're doing is absolutely incredible. I wish there are a lot of young people who are going to choose, subjects like you did, and having a thought process like you, and helping to bring a change in the society, because in India, mental health is very, very, very important. Like, we need to all talk about this topic. So thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for keeping the conversation very smooth.
Oh, thank you.
It's not like a question and answer. It was like a conversation.
Okay,
I realize the time.
I was very nervous. I'm just gonna be honest. I was very nervous in the beginning, but then you were so kind. You were so you're so humble. You made it very easy for me. So I would thank you for that.
Vice versa.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon, and thank you so much all you guys for coming and joining our live. I understand the timings were a little off, but we had to respect Dr. Charan's time schedule. And yes, thank you once again for joining our live, and thank you for asking all the questions. I understand that I think we missed a few questions, but with all the information that we gave, I hope that those questions and the information that was shared was very productive and very informative. Thank you once again. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye. You do too.
Nice talking with you.